Alright, so I do got one more rant out of me that needs to be put out there, or at least maybe like one or two more. I don't know, because really honestly I'm kind of running out of things to rant about, but these videos have been doing pretty decently and they've been hitting the algorithm, so hopefully this will also hit the algorithm too, because we're going to be talking about gaming honestly, and just in general a lot of the whole Western stuff that's been going on, and honestly just things and stuff like that in general. But I want to kind of shift it over to the stuff I've been playing personally, because there is obviously a clear factor of certain games that is absolutely doing what they should be doing as video games, and then there's obviously the Western market and what they're trying to force down and do, and things of sort like that. Like, this is probably going to be treading over grounds that you probably have heard of before if you're aware of things like DEI and ESG and all the other stuff like that, and you've been keeping up with it. Most likely you'll know what I'm about to bring up and things of sort like that. But I still want to talk about it in a scale like this regardless, because again, if it does hit the algorithm, I would like people to listen in and at least, you know, hear my, I guess, concerns and opinions, I suppose, on the subject. But anyway, obviously you've been seeing how the Western studios and obviously devs and people of the sort like that has been flipping out for one reason or another, basically blaming gamers for, you know, shit sales and things like that, or going as far as to close up shop in certain studios because they're not making the money that they should, and all that sort of stuff like that. What is that basically attributed to? That is because they're attributing to, you know, obviously again the DEI, ESG, agenda pushing stuff, you know, forcing things onto players, essentially preaching to the players of how things are and what the current day of stuff is, and things of the sort like that. And that obviously doesn't speak to a lot of people. It's why you've been seeing games fail, like in, you know, a Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, why you get shitty games like Dustborn that nobody plays, why you get other things of the sort like it, because they're trying to force that shit down on people. When this shit wasn't happening for, you know, like 5-6 years ago, right? This wasn't happening back then. Now all of a sudden, really in 2020s, it started to hard focus. It was always there, but it only really started to really be a hard focus within the 2020s. Really, again, I'll point this out, like I said before, it really mainly started, at least when you first really started to take notice of it, in 2019 when Senran Kagura got censored and, you know, they cut out like the whole, you know, I guess diorama mode when it comes down to it, which you might sit here and say, well, that's not that big of a deal. It's just Big Tit Ninja game that got censored a little bit. True, but at the very same time, that was like maybe the first shot, the first warning shot of bad things to come, right? Because the other Senran Kagura games has it in there, no one gives a damn, it's not a problem. Now it's a problem for all of a sudden? And it's like, it's no different from the other diorama modes. So it's like, what is happening here, right? And then obviously, past that point, that's where all the bullshit started. And it hasn't been the same ever since. And honestly, over the course of these 4 years of just the gaming industry experiencing this type of stuff, it honestly doesn't surprise me that even regular people are now also getting brainwashed when it comes down to, you know, the DEI stuff and agenda pushing stuff, and they also start pushing it harder, just like the devs and other people within the companies do as well, right? And that's just an unfortunate circumstance of where we kind of are today. I was watching Endemion's video yesterday about GTA 6 and how there's like so many DEI people that works at Rockstar and such, and potentially that GTA 6 is going to be a woke ass game and, you know, have all that stuff that we don't like in there and everything like it, going back to GTA 5 and even like reverting some changes that, you know, wasn't necessarily needed to be changed, and then they reverted that shit in like 2022 and things of the sort like that. And it's just like, damn, so I guess GTA 6 is basically cooked right from the get-go, right? Unless Rockstar themselves come through like a normal person and be like, hey, we see all this, you know, agenda pushing stuff and all that type of thing. You know what, I just like to confirm to the players, we're not following that damn path. We're gonna be actually giving that GTA swag that we always had. But I don't think they're gonna do that. In fact, I think the game is probably gonna be pretty much what we assume it's going to be. Honestly, if you've seen the past couple of games, major games that came out with a female protagonist and things of the sort like that, you can pretty much deduce that, yeah, this shit's gonna turn out the way we all think it's gonna turn out. And here's the thing. I'm not mad if you decided to bring in a female protag. Like, to be honest, bring them in. I don't care. As long as they are good, as long as they have, you know, proper reason, and as long as the how you brought them in and the why you brought them in are solid in the way they need to be solid in, I got no problem with a female protag. Look at Scylla Blade. Literally, just a whole main character that is a woman who do badass things and look fine as hell, right? I don't know the story Scylla Blade. Have to play it at some point in time because I don't have it, but when it comes down to it, I assume it's a pretty decent story, and I assume that's gonna be pretty okay. She's pulling off badass moves, so I see no problem with that. You can say that with plenty of other pieces of media that has female characters in it that are the main character and they do well. You can say that for a lot of pieces of media. But here's the thing. Again, it comes down to how did you bring him in? Why did you bring him in? You know, what is the purpose? Did you bring him in because you certainly think it's a cool ass character? Did you bring him in because, you know, they could honestly change the game of how things is and, you know, honestly show you that you can have a female lead and still be pretty dope and cool? Or did you bring him in because of representation? Because girl boss? Because girl power? Because of all that generic ass white woman western shit that we always have to chuck in into literally effing everything, and it forces on not just Americans but literally everybody else in the damn world for whatever dumbass reason, and everybody just complies for whatever reason for some of the most part, right? That's just kind of how it is. Like, if your why and how leads into like a representation thing or a girl boss thing, you've immediately failed that effing character. That effing character doesn't matter anymore. And that's just how it goes in any and all cases at this point. And it's just honestly weird and crazy how many games have fallen down this path of just being like the, you know, cool the idea and designs and things of sort like that, only for them to bring in the how, and it's the same agenda bullshit. And then it's crazy to see how many games flopped, how many studios closed, how many jobs lost because everybody try to get down on this same idea, but then at the very same time don't really think about, this could backfire pretty badly. We could lose our jobs and possibly never work in the gaming industry ever again if we're not careful. But screw it, we're gonna go down this path anyway, right? And I get it, there's multiple factors as to why people may not want to speak out, but at the same time, your job is pretty much on the line whether you say something or you don't say something at this point. So I might as well say some damn things, honestly. And if you just get fired, honestly, at this point, because of the 50-50, you might need to just go ahead and take that risk, honestly. It might be it is what it is type of situation. I get it, it might suck. And I know a lot of people probably wouldn't go with this mentality, but at least that's just how I potentially view it. As, again, someone as an outsider, but at the same time, definitely see what the hell is going on. And so, when you look at the grand spectrum of the Western side of the gaming industry, you end up seeing it, and you see a lot of horse shit. You see a lot of shit that's not good anymore. You see a lot of shit that makes you think, damn, we had good shit back in the day, like the early 2000s on down and whatever and stuff like that. We had fine ass women designs. We had great stories. We had people actually, when there was like life lessons in media and stuff, it wasn't beaten into your bitch ass head like honestly a steel chair colliding with it like it's WWE. Like, we was having good moral lessons that wasn't in your bitch ass face that effing hard, and then it makes you think of it, and it's also encouraging you and stuff like that, and it wasn't holding your hand every 5 seconds. Now it's nothing but that, and it's like, the sauce is gone. The sauce is dead. You went to Taco Bell to get you a nice ass taco, a soft shell taco, because that shit goes hard as hell, but you really came through with a hard shell taco that tastes like ass, and somebody basically used the damn taco meat to be ass meat. So it's like, what the hell is this? This is not how the game is basically played. What they basically try to do is change the game, even though the game was perfectly fine in the way that it was. You can't go ahead and get your wife pregnant and then assume that it's all wrong because of, you know, your own actions of what you did, and then you try to change it up because, oh, instead of actually, you know, wanting, you know, a normal baby and everything like that, you end up getting a freaky ass alien or some shit. That's not how the game played. Why are you switching shit up when it was working fine perfectly in the long run? It doesn't make sense. And then when you add on the consulting agencies and all these psychologists that honestly really is basically here to make money off of dumbass people to make them dumber essentially, and look at the courses that they have and seeing how many people flock to this shit, it's jarring, it's awful, it's ridiculous, and it's not what gaming was. It's not. It genuinely not. If you wanted a cool ass female character, I mean, look at Samus, for example. Samus, no one really knew, you know, that was a whole woman when it came down to the power suit and everything until you beat the game. And look at Samus now. People love the shit out of Samus. You know why? Because yeah, she is a female represented person, you know, when it comes down to it. Like, she's a woman, so obviously female representation, but was it beating over your head like a bitch? No, absolutely not. That wasn't the whole point of Samus. The whole point was she's a badass bounty hunter that can whoop your ass. That was the point. Now it's like, it has to be hard focus in your face. You have to see it. You have to love it. If you don't, you're either transphobic or you're homophobic or you're too damn, you know, white or all this shit, when gaming was never about that shit in the first damn place. We came here to escape reality instead of looking at that shit all the damn time. It's the reason why I also hate the hell out of the fact that most games go for a realistic looking art style, right? Sure, you know, they do look good, but at the very same time, I don't want to see that in a world of fiction personally. I don't care for that. Make a non-fiction thing if that's how you feel. I just don't care for that shit, right? That's why, you know, I like things like a Genshin Impact. Why I appreciate stuff like, you know, a Kingdom Hearts. And you can easily say, well, look at Kingdom Hearts 4, they have realism. Bitch, you have to realize Sora goes to different worlds. He changes his design in each different world. He's not gonna look realistic in one world to another world to another world. You should know that by now, especially if you've been playing it for as long as I have and enjoying it as long as I have, right? And that's the other subject I want to go down to. When you have the woke ass shit that's happening in the West and basically trying to affect every damn thing, you got very little bastions of hope to really just enjoy games that don't have it or don't necessarily show signs of it yet to happen, and things of sort like that. For instance, a game that honestly I've been really liking a lot, and really honestly at this point I would say is my fourth favorite game of all time, is now Genshin Impact. Do I see a lot of agenda pushing in Genshin? Do I see a lot of the bullshit that happens in Western development studios and stuff like that obviously we talked about previously? No. You know why? Because they don't play with that shit. They don't need that shit. Yes, you got a lot of female characters in it, but they beat it over your head when it comes down to, you know, the female character is here. This is what you're looking at. We're women. Respect us. And things of sort like that. You're not seeing like a billion types of trans characters or gay characters or things like that. One, because China don't play that shit. Which, good for China, honestly. Right? At least on the scale of like the way the gaming industry has been doing it. So, very much it's like, alright, I can live with that. That's perfectly fine. And the thing is, too, to switch gears for a quick second, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, you can't have a gay character or a trans character in the game, because sometimes those characters be pretty damn good. Final Fantasy 16, for example, you have Dion, who is honestly, real shit, my favorite character in the entire damn game, and he has a whole little mini, you know, something with his homeboy, I guess that's in the same army as well when it comes down to it, and they gay as hell. But guess what? Dion's cool as shit. He has Bahamut. He looks good. He's cool as hell. Why would you hate Dion at all? He looks amazing as hell. So don't sit here and tell me, oh, you can't bring in, good representation without it basically being in your face 5,000 times. Because Dion exists. He was there. Sure, you saw it sometimes, but it wasn't like the main focus of this person. It was his, kingdom that he had to worry about. His father, trying to carry on his legacy and things like that. Trying to atone for his mistakes and stuff like that. That's what made Dion so damn good versus the entire cast, besides maybe like Sid or some shit. Sid was also really damn good, Clive was good too, but I mean, he wasn't like top good, but he was good enough. But you get the damn point. It's like you can have good representation in a game without it being basically a preach overload. That's essentially what this shit comes down to. I like me some Genshin a lot of the damn time because the women are hot as hell. The story carries itself and it's very damn good. Why you think I've been playing it for, basically since it came out? Because I'm always attracted to the story. I'm attracted to the gameplay. I'm attracted that it's playing well and still plays well and gets updates to fix the shit where it's not necessarily, as like it once was. Which granted, back then it was still fine, but it's like it's way better now and way more accessible now and stuff like that as a game. Why I still think it's one of the best games that is currently out to play right now, even though you might not like live service, at least they're doing something that, does more than what a lot of the Western games are doing now. And that's being a damn game. Like, I could sit here and look at the fine female cast and not necessarily be preached to about women and things of the sort like that. And it feels good. Same thing with ZZZ. And ZZZ, they know their damn audience, right? Look at the Sons of Caledon, for example. Everybody taking a bath together. You know damn well why they put that shit in there. They might not necessarily say it out loud because of China or whatever, but you know damn well why they put that shit in there. You know damn well why they focused on Juyun's ass or Jane Doe's ass and be as horny as hell for Jane Doe and things of sort like that. You know why they did that? Because their female characters are badass and sexy as shit. That's what we like to see, right? And honestly, it's kind of like what Asmongold said, basically. Like, no one that's a guy wants to play a game that is having like a girl boss character in it, or having those type of things in it, because that's not what we want to really see for the most part, right? That's not it. Some maybe, some females maybe, but that's not what we want to see. Because you mean to tell me that I should pay $70 for a brand new game now, and then essentially get preached at and bitched at because I'm not acting human enough? Which, first of all, bitch, why are you telling me to act human when I know how to act human? I don't need a crash course of that like other 50,000 people do. I don't need that. I know what right and wrong and all this other type of stuff is. I don't need all that stuff. So calm the hell down on that. And then when it comes down to just another example of a game that does stuff really damn good, and that's new, and honestly that is, honestly in my opinion, low-key kind of worth the $70, it's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I know a lot of people might not necessarily like the direction of, the story and things like that, but one, I will give it credit, it doesn't play safe, right? They could have done a one-to-one remake, but here's the thing, they didn't. And it's not just like a regular ass remake, at least it feels like a damn sequel, because it kind of is a sequel to Final Fantasy VII Original, which is great, because was Zack alive in the original one? Nope. Honestly, you didn't really know too much about who the hell that was to a high ass extent until like way later. So that's good, right? And they changed up how things is. Sure, there is a little bit of safe play here with Tifa and stuff like that, but I could forgive it because most of the game is pretty much good. The story is honestly something I liked because it's a bit different from what OG 7 was, and I personally just don't mind that. And then at the same time, you get good ass combat, good ass story, good ass characters, and just how they look overall. They don't look ugly in any shape and form. They look like solid characters. Like, hell, Barrett has some of the best stuff in the game because of how his character is portrayed, right? They did a black man justice when it comes down to a story and wasn't treated like a joke type character or anything like that, without, you know, beating it over the head like, I'm a black character, this is how I am, and things of the sort like that. And he's overall a good ass character. And that's crazy to think about in the 2020s at all, right? So that's just how it is. And I would highly recommend anybody to play FF7 Remake, Rebirth, and whatever the hell Part 3 is going to be in the future, right? The same way I like Kingdom Hearts as well. Oftentimes, I will go back each year to go back just to play Kingdom Hearts 2, just because the game is that damn good and it doesn't have any nonsense that's in it. Which is why I also go back to play KH3, because KH3 don't have a lot of that nonsense in it, and honestly, don't really have it at all. So I'm hoping, and dear gosh, I'm praying hard that KH4 does not have any of that bullshit in it that the West try to keep shoving into shit. I hope it doesn't. High key, I really hope it doesn't. Because that's the last real bastion of gaming that I got left. Kingdom Hearts is literally the only thing I got left. I think Persona 6 might be also kind of in the same boat with some of the Western stuff too, and there's a bit attached to it too. But like, hopefully not that much, but it could be, so we'll have to see. And then going to GTA 6 again, obviously, it's like, they obviously has that. But guess what? Just today they announced an answer to, you know, a GTA 6 situation that, you know, if GTA 6 is too woke and have all this agenda stuff, we can play Ananta. We can play Project Mugen. That game with the whole, you know, anime aesthetic with everybody whipping around shit like Spider-Man and driving cars like GTA like crackheads. And then literally just showing off, like in that trailer, you can play basketball, you can do darts, you have fine female characters in the game, you have jiggle faces that is there and it's nice to see, and it's just for your pleasure to peruse essentially. And it looks good as shit. And I hope it comes out and I hope it's really good. So if GTA 6 flops hard and it's not that great as people thought it was going to be, you have an answer. You literally have an alternative choice when that game comes out, and hopefully nothing goes wrong with that game. Hopefully the game plays like butter and it's great. Hopefully. So my point is now, it's like, one, there is options now that is slowly coming through that you can at least play, because people are tired of the shit that is going on in the Western industry, and people are either making their own shit or shit coming out where, you know, that is not going to be in there. Or essentially, now you're basically just seeing that there is basically you're just seeing like there's a change and stuff. There's a potential change and stuff that can happen now because of all of this stuff. But again, my point is that no one wants to sit here and play a game with agenda stuff in it and all that type of stuff. At the end of the day, I am tired of seeing that shit happen with all these games in the West. I'm tired. I would not like to see another Last of Us for a long ass time. I would like to see people go back to the Jak and Daxter and make it a different version of Jak and Daxter to actually fit, you know, how games kind of played now. Maybe less, maybe somewhat platformish, but not maybe too much. Or maybe you can make it work out though. Or Sly Cooper, or literally anything in the past that works. Nintendo never has this problem with their games and, you know, trying to figure shit out. When they make a game, that shit just works and it's good. And they don't have to worry about agenda shit in it. Like, it doesn't take 2 seconds to look over at Nintendo and be like, what are they doing that we're not doing? Oh yeah, that's right. They're focusing on the damn game and making it fun. Easy money. And it's no wonder why Nintendo is highly praised for its games that in itself, and praise for just having fun and putting fun first over essentially, you know, anything else. They are a business at the end of the day. Yes, they want money, but they still want to make fun ass games. And that's perfectly fine. And you love to see that shit. And that's the shit I feel like the gaming industry needs to bring back the most. Bring back having fun, the passionate games. Stop listening to pencil pusher people. Stop listening to people that try to get into your psychology. Literally focus on people that wants to have fun with games. Make passionate, fun games. And literally just let them ride the coast of game design and things and stuff like that. And I promise you, the money will come and you will have good times. Just let people breathe. It's not breathing out their necks and the players say. It's not letting your devs come through and start insulting the players and then ruining your own business and company because you're being stupid and making dumbass choices that no one was doing back in the past that hard. Literally just make games fun again. That's all I'm asking. But yeah, that's essentially all I really want to say for this one. I'm losing my damn voice when it comes down to this, but still, hopefully you understood and hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on socials, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, Kofi and Cash App is available as well. And until then, it's Boy J, sign off. Have a blessed day.